Made it through, made it through, made it through. And everything I gave to you, I gave to you, I gave to you. You got it, you got it, you got it. It's coming, coming, coming. So are you ready? You ready for your blessing? Are you ready for your miracle?
Are you ready, Husker Nation? Are you ready, Huskers, for that blessing, for that miracle? Because I sure am. And you know, Chance the Rapper is Mike Riley's BFF. And I'm pretty sure he's about to give us that blessing and that miracle for the 2017 season. With that, I am proud to say, welcome back, Husker fans, to the DA Husker Fanalytical Show. I am your host, Derek Arthur, and this is the 2017 preseason preview. Woo! We are 21 days, 3 Saturdays until the kickoff of the 2017 season for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Our beloved Nebraska Cornhuskers are back. I've waited 9 months for this. It's been too long, all right? It's been too long. Now, little side note here. Thought last year was probably going to be it for the DA Husker Fanalytical Show. The views had started dropping down. Wasn't getting as much feedback. But you know what? I said to myself, you know what? I got loyalists out there. I got the people who view me every week and love what I do. And that don't matter. As long as I'm doing it for myself and as long as I'm doing it because it makes me happy, that's all that matters. So Mom and Dad, thank you for being the only 2 people that watch this every week. With that, let's get right down to it, folks. Let's keep this short and sweet. This is the 3rd year for Mike Riley, which is usually the defining year for a head coach. This year, I think it's going to have to be for certain that it's going to be Mike Riley turning things around and making things go in an uptick, which means 9 or 10 wins at the least. If we go 7 or below, I think I'm going to, well, first and foremost, I'm going to weep a lot. And it's not going to look good, especially after looking at the 2018 season. Is daunting. It's very scary, but then there's going to be second season, because I really don't count Mike Riley's first 2 seasons as things, because the turnover has been changed this year. We got a whole new defense. We got the same offense, but being run by someone who is destined to run that style offense for Mike Riley and Danny Langsdorff. And I'm just hoping for 9 to 10 wins, but you know, I'm thinking like more like 14 wins. You know what I'm saying, baby? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So this year is a big year for Mike Riley. It's going to be an uptick. And if not, well, there's going to be a lot of haters out there wanting him fired, wanting everything to change over, and wanting Scott Frost to come home, which I don't see happening. I actually like Mike Riley. I think he's doing a great job. I have complete faith in the staff. And you know what? This year, I am so optimistic. There's not one thing that's going to get me down this year. I swear on it. You follow me on Twitter, you know that sometimes during the season, I get really angry with things that are going on with the program and certain situations. But this year, all optimism. It's 24/7. You're not going to see one bad tweet from me this year. I will restrain myself. I will say it to myself and then move on to something more positive, because this year's the year of positivity. I'm getting married. I've lost 60 pounds in the last 3 months. I'm feeling good. I got the red tuxedo, folks. That's all that matters. That is all that matters. Just the straight positivity towards Derek Arthur. All right, folks, let's get right down to it. The 3 reasons to be optimistic for the 2017 season. 1, Bob Diaco. Good-looking dude, but is a defensive guru. That guy can coach. He brings an intensity that Mark Banker did not have, which means the players are obviously taking this more thing. They're going to be more intense. It's going to be more physical. And the 3-4 defense is a better fit for our talent within inside the program than the 4-3. At the moment, it is better. Second reason to be optimistic, the O-line. Got young guys. This is the first year in probably 4 to 5 years that I felt great about the offensive line. Not just the starters, but the depth. If someone goes down, someone's going to be able to be good enough to come back in. Nothing wrong with walk-ons on the offensive line. It's those cornbread Husker, Nebraska folk running that, as walk-ons. I have no problem with that. But when 3 of your 5 starters are that way, it tends to say that the recruiting from Pelini wasn't that great on the offensive line in the trenches. And the third reason, Tanner Lee, the disciple. I'm calling him the disciple. Why? Because he reminds me so much of Brooke Behringer. So he's either the disciple or the second coming. I'm going to go with one of those two for the nicknames. If you love it, just start using it. I don't mind. Just make sure to credit me once in a while. Be like, Derek's the one who's called him the disciple. Or Derek's the one who called him the second coming of Brooke Behringer. Because, one, he acts like a quarterback. He's one hell of a thrower. And he's gracious. Like, the guy is all-around good dude. All around. Now, 3 reasons to be pessimistic this upcoming season. 1, the offensive line. Not for certain. I know it's going to be better, but you never know. You just never know. If the offensive line is better, we're going to be great. If the offensive line is mediocre to bad, not so great. It all lands on the offensive line this year. The offense-wise. Injuries. There's been already a couple injuries during, basically call it training camp, which isn't good in the wide receiver core. And Chris Jones' injuries obviously hurt the secondary. But we'll get over it. It's the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Next guy up. And 3, the new D for the young guys. I don't think it's going to be that big of a learning curve, but they're probably going to be a learning curve in the first 5 to 6 games, I think. Which is good because we really have one tough game, and it's Oregon, before we get to Wisconsin, which I think is game 6 or 7. All right. 4 players to watch on the offensive side of the ball this year. J.D. Spielman. I think the guy's going to be slut. Did I just call him a slut? No. I think he's going to be great in the slot with an O. 2, Colt Conrad. The guy's obviously a stud. Probably going to be our starting center. You put the best 5 guys in the situation on the offensive line as physical as possible to make sure that our quarterback doesn't get hit and that our run game is steady and our pass protection is steady. 3, Matt Snyder. Second guy up on the offense thing, but I think he's the better receiving threat. Tyler Hops is an all-around dude. Kind of reminds me of Steven Carter. I think he's going to get the majority of the catches, but Matt Snyder needs to take that next step. But I think he's going to be a guy to look out for this year. And Mikel Wilbon. I've been praying for him to get more carries every year, and I think this year will be the year that he gets more carries. I think Trey Bryant's going to be the number 1 guy. Zigbo and Wilbon will be number 2 or 3. Jalen Bradley's also out here getting a lot of good reps, so that's a good year. But he's not on the players to watch this year. I think they'll redshirt him and go for that. 4 players to watch on the defensive side of the ball. Luke Gifford, been hearing great things from him at the dog position. The linebackers are the key to the 3-4 defense. The defensive line needs to make sure that they can keep the offensive line off the backers, but the backers are the key to the 3-4 defense. 2, Muhammad Berry. He's going to be the second guy coming up in the middle, or in the Mike and Will, or I don't know what they call it in this thing, but the middle linebackers. Khalil Davis. Obviously, everybody talks about his brother, but Khalil is either, I think, moved back to the defensive end spot, which means it's going to give him a little bit of a choice where you can put him into places, which is good because I would love to see the Twins just destroying those offensive lines in the Big Ten. And DiCaprio Boodle. Short guy, but I'm hearing good things. He's going to either be the guy for Chris Jones or Eric Lee. One of those 2 guys are going to be the watch ones for this year. Offensive MVPs of the year. 1, Tanner Lee, the disciple of the second coming of Brooke Behringer, and Gerald Foster. Someone's got to protect him, and I think Gerald Foster is the guy to do it. Him and Nick Gates on that left side are going to be money. Defensive MVPs, Josh Kalu and Chris Webbers. Those 2 guys are the quarterbacks of the defense in the 3-4 defense, and I'm praying to God that Bob Diaco's not lying about Josh Kalu being the best safety in the country, because if he isn't lying, then swing. All right, let's get down to the schedule, folks. I'm just going to give some wins and some L's, and we'll wrap this thing up. It's about 10 minutes. It's a good enough time. Got Arkansas State. We got a W, so that's 1. Oregon, W, because let's be serious. We're going to win. It's just inevitable, right? Ducks play together. Northern Illinois, W. Rutgers, W. Illinois, stupid Friday night game, W. My persistence is this. If the Big Ten wants to schedule Friday night games, 1 for each team each year, Nebraska's already got a Friday game. Why don't you move the Iowa game to a night game and just call it a heyday? That way all the women, all the guys trying to get those Black Friday deals can have something to sit down and relax to at night. They can have a time to take a dang nap in the afternoon after doing all that shopping for their kids for Christmas and for all their friends and family. That they can take a nap in the middle of the day and not have to worry about the Husker game kicking off at noon or 3:30 or whatever. They can take a nap and then be ready to embrace the Huskers destroying Iowa on Black Friday. Should just move it to a nighttime game, call it a day, because high school football in Nebraska is over by then. Wisconsin, W. Ohio State, first L of the season. Purdue, another W. Northwestern, another one. Minnesota, another one. Penn State, another one. Iowa, another one. Major key alert. Nebraska wins the West, goes to the Big Ten championship game at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11-1. We face Ohio State again and get beat again. Because let's be serious, Ohio State's going to win probably the national championship this year. It's just a prediction I have, some money I put on it, but you know what I'm saying? Then that means Nebraska will be going to play at the Big Six Bowls or whatever the hell they want to call it. Whatever. We will be going to play in the Orange Bowl on December 30th versus Miami. And we will win. So final tally for the year would be what? 12-2, I believe. 12-2. 12-2. I got Nebraska 12-2 this year. I like our odds. I'm very optimistic this year. I'm very optimistic. Positivity, baby. Positivity! And that is it for the DA Husker Fanalytical Show, the 2017 preseason preview. As always, folks, follow me on Twitter at Derek Arthur. Follow me on Instagram at DerekArthur21. And make sure to follow, like, subscribe, whatever to this channel. I love you all. As always, folks, be loud, be proud, and always go Big Red.